Let's talk about Robert Earl, my 1-year-old cat. He's all white with a little charcoal stripe, kind of like a mohawk down the middle of his scalp. You can see it if you're on YouTube right there. I'm going to set him down because he feels impatient. So, like most pet owners, he doesn't often get called by his given name. I don't often call him, like most pet owners, I don't often call him by his given name. He's Bobbert, Roberto, Dirtbag, Butterrum, which is kind of what it sounds like he says when he's hungry. Butterrum. I also call him Mountain Goat because he likes to stand in high places, and his newest nickname is Cocaine Snowman because he's all white and completely deranged. Robert also has heterochromia, two different colored eyes, which is apparently most common in white cats, and I am still mesmerized by this physical attribute because one is fiery orange and the other is frosty blue. He's a beautiful and playful child. I've never had a cat like him. In fact, I've never had a white cat, which is in itself so lovely to look at. White cats, pretty universally, are considered good luck. In Japan, you'll often see the figure of Manake I'm going to get this right, Manake Neko, or beckoning cat, in homes, restaurants, and shops, even in open spaces. These cats are mostly white because they bestow good luck upon all. Conversely, throughout most of the world, the black cat is seen as bad luck. The yin to the yang, black cats crossing paths, black cats at Halloween, black cats in graveyards, etc. Darkness is associated with death, lightness with life, I suppose. But in Japan, in particular, black cats have their own unique meaning. They're believed to ward off evil spirits. They also represent a more individual sort of luck. Like when you run across a black cat, good things may come to you. One variation of this in older times was if a single woman should see a black cat, then a suitor would soon come a-calling. I find all of this so interesting because this week's film, the 1968 absolute classic Kuroneko, or Black Cat, is about women who do not experience luck near a black cat. And the black cat actually seems to bring about the evil spirits, or at least the vengeful ones. You could say this is more of the negative read on black cats, but I think it's just the black cat has been flipped from the physical world to the spiritual world. The black cat exists in the plane of the afterlife, and there it wards off evil people. And while this movie is a tragedy, I'm not mad at the cat's effort. He's no Robert Earl, but he's a good kitty. Hi, Cecil.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Outside of current pets, who is your favorite pet you've ever had?
Current favorite pet. I mean, you kind of have to love your first pet. And our first pet was a cat named Groucho because he had like the little mustache.
Uh-huh.
And he was a big, fat, black and white cat, like total tuxedo cat. Yeah, and I think that was kind of like why I fell in love with cats because I was a little kid. And one, he was very like, he kind of didn't give a fuck, like a big fat cat would. And he had a limited tolerance to my childhood bullshit. And I remember one time like tormenting the cat, and the cat just like took both of its claws and just like put them on either side of my cheeks and just like pulled.
Oh,
And I went screaming to my mom, and she's like, "Well, were you messing around with the cat?" And I'm like, "Yes." Then don't do that. Consequences of your actions. But I love you.
I think this is what I love about cats is because I think because they don't necessarily learn from us, we have to learn from them.
Hmm.
And I find that really interesting and beautiful and lovely. And they show their love. They just don't do it
Yeah.
in an obedience sort of way.
Yes. Yes. More of a companion rather than a tool or something
Yeah.
you own.
Yes. Yes. I'm more of a friend than a child, right? And
Yeah.
in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was mentioned to you right before we started recording that, I had forgotten which movie we were doing. And last night I had to go pull up the last
Hmm.
notes I had. And it's like, what do I got to watch tonight? It's like, oh, good. It's Kuroneko. And I saw this movie
Hmm.
maybe a year or two ago for the first time. And I was so excited to get to rewatch this because it is a cool 90 minutes and
Yep.
it's so stunningly beautiful and rich.
So beautiful.
Was this your first time seeing it, Cecil?
No, it was not, but it's been quite a while,
Hmm.
like maybe 10 years since I've seen it. And I remember watching Kuroneko and Ugetsu at the same time, and I couldn't quite remember which one was which exactly.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, so I know there's a spooky cat in here somewhere because it says so in the title, but I was like, I couldn't remember the plot of this
Yeah.
at all. So it was like watching it again for the first time.
Yeah. There's we covered Kwaidan for the show and
Mhm.
Onibaba for the show. We haven't covered
Same
Ugetsu
director as
yet.
Onibaba.
Same
Yeah.
director. You can definitely see a lot of the
Yeah.
similarities happening. And, they all kind of exist in the world of like folklore
Yeah.
around, like horror, folk horror sort of thing,
Yeah.
Japanese folk horror. So this is not a scary movie. It is a
No.
spooky. In fact, the scariest, most upsetting moment kind of happens at the very, very beginning to
Yeah.
set everything in motion. So let's start from there. Black Cat, written across
Ah.
our screen, Kuroneko, and we've got bamboo trees and
Hmm.
lots of drumming that I
And like
really,
weird and
huh?
yeah,
What's
go ahead.
that?
And weird scratching sounds.
Yeah, yeah. I also clocked I love the opening credits, kind of in the classic, pre-70s movies, kind of just let's just do opening credits, and then when the movie ends, just done, we're out.
Yep. Yes.
And but the opening credits, all the drumming and the bamboo trees, it reminded me of the wheat fields from Onibaba.
Hmm.
And then it just shifts to really tight strings for like 2 seconds, and then it's done. And
Yeah.
here's our movie. So we've got this remote hut in a kind of a bamboo glen, a bamboo forest.
Yeah. At the edge of a grove.
And we get this long still shot of this kind of grove with the bamboo trees and the little hut, screen left, and then slowly out of the trees comes a horde of very dirty samurai
Yeah.
who drink ravenously from the stream next to the house.
I think it's interesting that this movie has no dialogue for the first 10 full minutes.
Yeah.
Like not a word is spoken.
Uh-huh.
And the soundtrack, not only the soundtrack, but like the actual sounds are very minimal. Like this is really example of like sort of expressionism
Mm-hmm.
done well because it's not about throwing everything that like everything realistic onto the plate. It's about like picking one or two things and heightening those things.
Yeah. It's there's a staginess like we talked about with
Yeah.
Kaidan.
Hmm.
There's
So like the
yeah.
sounds of these samurai slurping at this little stream are like the only sound you hear.
Uh-huh. And then they notice this hut and decide, let's go into the hut. And
Hmm.
inside the hut, we have Yone
Hmm.
and her daughter-in-law, Shige, who are living in this hut. This was a similar thing we saw in Onibaba, which is the
Yeah.
son has gone off to war. It is the mother and the daughter-in-law that
Hmm.
have to tend the house while son is at war. We're going to learn that this was a case of son was hauled off to war.
Yes.
He was grabbed and taken to northern Japan to
Yeah.
go fight in whatever
Conscripted.
samurai bullshit is happening.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So this director, both Noni Bob and this, like apparently he was a farmer, like growing up, like he
Hmm.
grew in the farmland, and then that sort of failed for his family, and he moved to the big city, and so he makes a lot of movies about. It's like he makes movies about the poorest level of people and what war does to them.
That's so interesting. I really, on this viewing, I really was paying very close attention to the class
Yeah,
demonstrated in this
yeah.
film because we don't really ever see we don't really ever see the noble class, although there is one
We
brief
see
moment
one,
we see
and
one.
he's through a screen.
He's got a fan and a white robe, and
Yeah,
um, but the samurai class in this movie
yeah.
sort of represents this really, really fraught, tight, disgusting pipeline from
Hmm.
poverty to nobility.
Yeah, yeah.
And you are not really that celebrated until you are a hero. And once you are a hero, you get to wear the fine robes.
Yeah. It's interesting how this is not your seven samurai. Samurai is like kind of I was thinking about the equivalent, for the West, and it would essentially it's knights of the round table, the virtuous knights
Hmm.
that we tell stories about. And there is that, But this movie, not about that.
No.
Yeah, samurai had to do a lot of really fucked up things to get where they are,
Mhm.
and also did a lot of fucked up things that nobody talks about.
Yep. And this is one of those fucked up things that happens here in this opening scene. So these samurai, about a dozen or so of these men, enter this tiny hut, start taking all of their food,
Oh
destroying the
my God.
things,
They
grabbing the women.
God, they fall on the food first, which is like shocking,
Hmm.
but then that gradually turns into like literally falling on top of the women.
Yes.
And it's these still images, not still images, but images in which the figures are still like close up of people's like faces with like rice hanging off and they're just like ogling the sexual assault that's going on. So you
Yes.
don't see it. You're watching them react to it ravenously, which
Yes.
feels even worse.
Yeah, it feels so gross, and just the animalistic nature of these men, and
Hmm.
it's so putrid, and it's at the end we just get that outside shot again of the hut next to the woods, and we just watch all of these men walk out
Hmm.
so casually
Yep.
and just back into the forest, and then we see smoke start coming out of the hut, and before long we see it just engulfed in
Yeah.
flames.
Yeah.
And in the smoldering remains of this hut, we see the two bodies of these women, and a black cat comes by. Meow meow. And
Yeah.
it walks over them, it licks them, and it even
Hmm.
lays on top of them.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's something about the laying on top of, and this was a case where we had two cats way back when named Minu and Simone. And Minu died, and it was sad. She got so sick, and we had to put her down. And they we had the guy come to our house to do it.
Okay.
And it was a thing where I was like, I'm gonna keep Simone locked away because in
Hmm.
some of my mind I was like, oh, I don't want him to see this or whatever.
Sure.
But I remember the vet saying, no, you should let him out. It's very important that they understand that death
Oh
has
yeah.
happened because otherwise he'll never understand what happened to her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And when uh I'm gonna add like a little caution if you don't want to hear about animal death. I think I'm gonna insert that into
Uh-huh.
this
Uh-huh.
word to fast forward. But I will continue with the story. And when after it was done and we left Minu on the couch for a while, and Simone came by, sniffed her, licked her, laid on top of her, like
Wow.
just laid on top of her for like 15 minutes, then got up and walked out. And then it was
Wow.
done. And it was really interesting watching that same pattern happen in this film, um, the way in which that went down. And there's something almost like it's almost like it's either absorbing their
Hmm.
life or
Hmm.
giving them life.
Yeah, like trying to warm their body with your body.
Yeah. And so now we're going to cut to a well-dressed robed samurai on a horse late at night.
Here at Rashomon Gate. Have you ever seen Rashomon or read the short stories?
I have not. No.
Listen, both are a treat
Hmm.
and a joy. Um, it's one of those things where it's like you can't say the movie is better than the book. It is like equal footing.
Wow.
But it has this kind of spooky late at night kind of vibe to this gate. This gate seems to be um, a crux, like a crossroads in which stories were told and in which fantastic things were heard and replayed. And I just love the idea of like this gate reoccurring in Japanese literature over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And again, it goes back to the staginess of it because we
Hmm.
become familiar with these like really wide architectural shots of
Yeah.
the gates of later or soon here the archway into where the women
Yeah.
lived, and architectural shots of the forest as well, like these wide shots of just rows and rows, vertical
Hmm.
rows of trees.
Now we know something spooky is going to happen because this well-dressed samurai rolls up and immediately a woman in white is doing backflips over top of him and he does not see it.
I fucking loved that. I loved that so much. He's very sleepy as well.
Yeah.
And then we see Shige, the
Yeah.
daughter-in-law, in all
But
white.
she is dressed
She
up.
is. Yeah, this was the shaved eyebrows with the big, like, kind of like almost like
Uh-huh.
charcoal light,
Yeah,
thick
with like
eyebrows
the
drawn
little
above.
like the little black puffy cloud of eyebrows.
Yeah, the puffy cloud. Yeah.
I love the idea of so our three main characters go through transformation, like transformation that makes them unrecognizable.
Uh-huh.
And with the two women, it is a supernatural transformation. And with our sort of Gintaki, our main guy, it is a very natural transformation, but equally as unrecognizable.
Yes.
And it takes a full couple of minutes. Like you're like, obviously, this is, the daughter-in-law from the beginning, but you couldn't tell
Hmm.
because when you see, Shige and Yone, like they are the poorest of the poor.
Yes.
Like it is very realistic the way they're portrayed. And then in this iteration, it is operatic.
Yes. It is no women of nobility
Hmm.
happening here. And she has this kind of physicality, and we're going to see this image repeated several times where she sort of emerges from behind something, or maybe just out of nowhere.
Just
Her
out of
head,
the shadows.
she has a shawl, like a translucent scrim
Yeah.
of a shawl that she is holding with both hands up and out over to cover her head, and she raises it and turns her body and her head to look at him.
Ugh. One of my favorite things about a lot of Japanese art, and I learned this when I was at the Brooklyn Botanical Garden, is like there's a real profound love of concealing and revealing in Japanese
Uh-huh.
art in general, but like in gardening and things. So this idea of like, what's even more amazing than seeing something beautiful? Having to wait to see something beautiful and seeing it for a brief moment and then
Yeah.
it disappears. And because she has this it's almost like what the like the equivalent of a parasol, but it's like she has a little fabric cave that she can disappear into
Yeah.
that makes her even more tantalizing.
Yeah.
So when she bestows a glance upon you, you're like awestruck.
Yeah. And she's just this beacon. It's almost like she is radiating the white
Yeah.
light in the pitch black of the
Mhm.
night. And she tells him this. He says immediately, "You must be a ghost wandering so late at night."
Who, me?
No, no,
No.
I just need a ride home. I'm too
Totes.
scared.
Totes not a ghost.
And so they kind of have this back and forth, and he's like, "Well, obviously, if you're scared of bandits, I could be a bandit." She says, "Oh, such a fine-looking
I
samurai could
know.
not be a
No,
bandit."
never. Someone as respectable as you would never do anything immoral.
I love the juxtaposition between him, the next guy, and then
I
later
know.
Gintoki, and in all of their behaviors,
Yeah.
because he and the first guy are very uh, not likable people, and this guy he's clean cut and
Hmm.
seems like in the world of men
Hmm.
would probably do just fine. Is well
Yeah.
spoken, is like clean cut, tells whatever stories well, things like that. But he's so pompous. He talks
Yeah.
down to these women so much.
Like he keeps like this first guy, he laughs at things that are not funny. Like he's like
Yeah.
laughing at his own like he's carefree. I don't know how to describe it. Like the things he says that he sort of laughs at,
Hmm.
like it's just like he doesn't care. He's unbothered.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, there's war in the north. Ha ha ha. Ha. Oh, there's war in the south, there's war in the east, there's war in the west. Ha ha ha.
Yep. So there's this movie it's maybe one of the earliest films I can think of where we kind of get that I've seen. So I'm not going to say it's the first, but for me it is the use of putting a person in one place
Mhm.
and then cutting to another camera shot that is clearly in a different location and having that person suddenly be there.
Yeah.
And so there's a moment where he hears a cat's meow, turns to look. When he turns back, she's right next to him.
Yeah. Ooh, I love those early jump scares
Uh-huh.
because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, how did you get there? And she's like, what? Me? What are you talking about?
I also love the setup of, well, first, I, I love the ladies of 16th century Japan and the way that
Ugh,
they walk
yeah,
is lovely. Just the glide
yeah.
that's happening. And two, they set up this little puddle that's on the trail. And that puddle, the puddle of water is a recurrent
Hmm.
theme that comes back in a couple of ways.
Reflection.
Reflection and depth as well, right?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
like a different world, like the bear, whatever that samurai
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
leader, the
yeah,
bear who gets trapped in a puddle,
yeah,
who the puddle is deeper than he could imagine.
yeah.
The underworld, it goes deeper than you can possibly guess.
My favorite iteration is when the essentially the sheriff,
Hmm.
the like sort of commander of the samurai has to wait for his master so long bowed that the sweat drips off his head into a puddle that he reflects his own
Yes,
image.
yes,
Because
yes.
one, gorgeous, and two, it also tells you like just how long he has been there in the heat
Uh-huh.
and
Waiting
forced to look at himself. Yeah.
Yeah, waiting for the emperor's chief to come in, which
Hmm.
is so interesting because we're seeing all of the tiers of
Yeah.
society. Because even he, the leader of
Oh yeah.
this region of samurai, is far below this kind of bureaucrat
Yeah.
who even knows how many layers below the emperor he is.
Hmm.
Anyway, so she has to leap over this puddle, and that will come back later. So they arrive at this archway, and they go through, and there is a beautiful home.
Oh my. But a not complete home. This is
Yes.
I gotta say, this house is my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things about this movie. It is not indoor or outdoor, but both at the same time.
Yes.
So like it's in a bamboo grove, okay, but there's no walls in this house. And the
No.
bamboo just sort of like you can't tell what's a pillar, what's a bamboo. It just sort of is a porous, ephemeral in between space
Yes.
that is very theatrical. And as we go through, especially when we get into the world of the two women, their sort of afterlife world is completely defined by like light and smoke.
Did you clock there's a couple of camera special effects sort of editing tricks in this movie. One
Oh
is
yeah.
later when he's on the horse and there's like the kind of the early green screen backdrop
Yes.
of this
Yeah.
giant sun in the horizon.
Yeah.
But in this one, when he first arrives to the house, it is vertical across or
Hmm.
horizontal across the bottom, and above it are the trees, but the trees are all moving.
And he's stationary.
Yeah, he and the house are stationary, but the trees are all moving like the house is a rail car
Yeah,
or
it's like a Baba Yaga hut that moves
Mhm.
while you're inside of it.
Yeah. So gorgeous. And he even comments, he's like, this is far better than my
Yeah.
own home. Like,
Like, what are you doing out
you're a
here?
court noble.
Yeah.
And they continue, oh, we just like a little privacy, when we grow our crops. Wait, why are you growing your crops? You know how war is.
I know. War is terrible. We got to eat somehow.
This repeated shot repetition in this movie too is really key. And this repeated shot of the living room where he is sitting screen right and the daughter Shige is sitting
Mhm.
screen left, and from down the middle is the long hallway,
Oh,
and Yone just emerges from nowhere and
yeah.
just glides on her 2 feet carrying the tray of sake.
This actress. I mean, this movie would not be what it was without this actress.
Mm-hmm.
And Nobuko Otoa was married to the director and apparently was in all of his films. But she brings this gravitas to this role. I was watching a featurette on the Criterion Collection with a Japanese film critic who was saying that she was actually part of a theater troupe in Japan that was made up entirely of women, where women played male roles and female roles. And so it's this kind of this was really unique, and it like of kind of an inverse of the sort of the Shakespeare men playing men and women, but it was like women being masculine on stage in the way that they wished men were masculine in the real world.
Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, the aspirational storytelling.
Hmm.
Yep.
And we see, later, especially you feel that really hard in the very last act where she appears as an entirely different character that is very much supposed to be a man, but it's still just the same actress
Yeah.
being that sort of male presence.
So mother and daughter feed him so much sake.
So much sake, little, I don't know, little yummy treats.
Mhm.
And he lets his guard down real fast.
Yeah, oh my God. And he he says, I feel like I've met the two of you somewhere before. Oh my, no.
What?
And
No.
it's so hard to tell, but I think this is the main samurai from the opening scene.
I know.
And I was having a hard time pinning down because there's no character names.
No.
So it's hard to pin down exactly who this is, but I kind of got it sort of implied that he was at least one of those samurai that had seen them before, that did what they did to these women.
But they never specifically say.
They don't. So there's also, when she giggles, there's a moment from behind with her long black hair, and it
Yes.
flips up like a cat's tail for a second.
Because she is so excited. They
Uh-huh.
know what's gonna come, like a cat hunting its prey.
Yep. Or like a cat being happy and curling its tail up from behind. And she also says, mother asks him, she says, how old are you? Because you look like maybe you're my son's age. And he says, I'm 22. I gasped when he said 22. I'm like, oh, I joke a lot about, oh, this is 18-year-olds played by 30-year-olds or whatever,
Sure.
which is just joking. I don't, it's not always true. But this is a case where I'm like, oh, you have lived a hard life at 22, my young man.
You look like a 40-year-old man.
Uh-huh. So she says, well, my son would be 21. My daughter's husband would have been your age, and he was plucked from our land and has not returned for 3 years. And this guy's like, oh, well, that means he's too busy being an awesome samurai to ever, he may return home, but it's a samurai's world now.
Yeah. This is where I was like, why is he laughing at this?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way he's dead. No, he's totally fine, but he's out having adventures. Ha 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 ha. Don't you worry, little ladies.
Mother finally says, I just want to thank you so much for being so kind to my daughter. And she gets up and leaves them to their whatever activities.
She doesn't even leave them. She just disapparates.
Yes.
She just disappears. He's like, where did she go? She's like, well, maybe she wanted to give us some alone time.
There's a moment where Shige goes to pour him more sake, and he looks down, and her hand is like cat. Looks like a cat human paw hybrid.
Furry. Yeah.
Very werewolf hand. And he double takes, and it's back to normal. And in the other room, Mother is just crouched over a bucket and lapping up the water.
Oh, yeah. Just
like a cat. So then we get this kind of like coy chase around the room. He's drunk and being handsy, but she's playing along with all of that. And then finally he grabs her and kisses, and they roll around. Meanwhile, Mom is dancing in the hallway.
I love Mom's interpretive dance.
Yes.
The kind of like invocation of death.
Yeah.
Dance.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I was wowed the first time I saw this, of just that dance incorporated into this scene is so stunning. And then suddenly she rolls him over, is up on top of him. She kind of hesitates, and then suddenly just Vampire bite.
Just bites his neck. Yeah.
And then suddenly Mother is outside and watching her daughter do kind of a dance in silhouette in the window. And next day we see his body laid out on the burnt shell of that hut.
And his neck is like torn out.
Yeah. We see this repeated. The second samurai he's grittier than this first guy.
Yeah.
First guy is smug. Second guy is just gross. He's like the guy who tells constant dirty jokes, sort of.
Yeah.
That personality.
He also like has her riding on the horse with him. So he's already like loving having a maiden at his disposal.
Yeah.
He gets, more body drunk much faster.
And before we know it, next day we just see a crow just same place, body in the same place. Crow's just pecking at his neck.
Yep.
And we get this repeated with another, and see another dead body and another, and we just kind of like repeated with like little flashes of the same repetition. But this fourth samurai, there's a moment where he this time, first iteration, she's walking in front in the forest with the horseman behind. Then she's on the horse with the man. And then in this one, he's walking in front and she is on the horse. And he knows something is up. And he turns and tries to attack with a sword.
She just bounces right out of there.
This girl can fly.
Yeah.
She goes full like NBA Jam on fire on this guy. It's so good.
Out into the trees.
Just like 30 foot in the air, triple, quadruple flips, dodging everything, and then eventually just jumps on his back and bites his neck.
Yep.
Again, I think we said this maybe in Onibaba or Kaidan, one of the earlier like 60s Japanese ghosty films that we've watched, but this yokai ghostly figure of all black hair straight down covering the face. Like The Ring. Rashomon Gate, Cecil. The chief is coming. Make way.
Oh, no. Yeah, because I think this body was left like at the gate.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is as these murders progress, like the first couple out in the middle of the woods. The third one, you see the peasants raiding the body. This last one, the body's left at the gate, and there is like 30 people, 30 peasants. Like now the community is getting it. Like the community's noticing something must be done.
Yeah. It's very clear these people are being serial killed.
Yeah.
And so now we've got whatever noble chief, whatever emperor's chief is coming to talk to Raiko Minamoto, who is kind of the leader of the sheriff of this area, of this county. And he tells Minamoto, like, are you the leader of the samurai or not? Yeah. Like, there's some ghost monster out here killing our samurai, and I can't sleep at night.
Yeah. Who knows? Like, it's going to eat up all the samurai. One, bad for our, forces. Two, it might decide to come and jump into the emperor's house and kill us. Do something about this. Supernatural. I love a fairy tale, Jeffrey.
I do too.
I love a world in which like the magical and the real exist side by side. And like the real is treated as magical and the magical is treated as real. So like there's rules to magic. There's rules to these things. But then also like this very real world of like muck and dirt and grit and war, and also has a strange magical reality to it.
So he goes to dress down. Minamoto goes to dress his men down and tell them like, we got to get this. And I got my 4 like best men. Where's David?
Yeah.
Where's Manny? Where's Marcus? And they're all like, no, he's in the north. He's in the east. He's in the south. They're all fighting. And he's like, it's like, I don't have anyone competent enough to kill this beast, which cracks me up because there's like a dozen dudes there that are probably all like, I mean, I played quarterback in high school. I feel like I can run the offense.
Yeah.
So then we cut to Izo, northern Japan. We see this very shaggy man who is running from another much larger shaggy man.
Yeah.
Tiny Shaggy has a sword.
Uh-huh.
Big Shaggy has an iron spiked club.
Like this is straight out of like a Cyclops club.
Yeah. it's yeah, it does actually feel a little bit like almost and to use more of like the Western mythology, like there's a labyrinth quality to
Yeah.
these wheat fields that they're running through.
Yeah.
And they're running. He's just missing getting hit by this big club, and there's a moment where there's some wetness, a puddle there, and this little Shaggy leaps the puddle. Big Shaggy does not. He steps into the puddle, and his leg goes down pretty deep,
Yeah.
and he gets run through with a sword by little Shaggy. And little Shaggy, well, the next thing we see is he's holding the man's head like Medusa in
Yeah.
Clash of the Titans, and he goes racing home on a horse to show Minamoto, I have killed Senehiko the bear.
What? How did you know it was him? He's like, well, okay, here's the story.
Uh-huh.
We were fighting. They were fighting. Battle started at dawn. It went until dusk. There's no one left except for me and him. And he's like, I am the bear. Who the hell are you? And I'm like, I'm just some dude from the country. So I thought, I don't know, Kentucky is kind of a cool name. And I was born near a grove. So I'm Kentucky of the Grove. Prepare to meet your death, you know?
And I love that he added too that Senehiko the bear said that name sounds very courageous. I challenge you to a fight.
I love it. Love it.
Um, he even says like something to the effect of that son of a bitch was strong as hell. But he says I summoned my courage and I took his head, and he shows him the head, and it's so interesting too in a time when you can't have absolute proof of something. You can't have a photograph to compare to the file you have on this guy.
No.
So the narrative you build is really important. The storytelling is vital, that it sounds plausible. Because if you're just like, I mean, I don't know, like I just went off the description you guys gave me, and that's he had a big iron club, and you're like,
I met a dude and I killed him.
Yeah.
Surely that's him, right?
Gotta be that guy. Because even later, Minamoto will tell him a story about killing bandits and telling his commanding officers that they were other generals of the opposing army.
Oh no, I thought no, he kills bandits, and then he's like, anybody can kill a bandit. You know what we killed?
Oh,
Demons. That whole mountain infested with demons. That's a fucking story.
yes. Oh, I see. Yes, yes. Okay, I misunderstood his story. Sorry. Yeah, thank you for that. So he says, well, from now on, Minamoto tells him, you will be named, your battle name is Gintoki of the Grove, and you are now my 5th retainer,
Sweet.
and you're in charge of going and killing whatever crazy demon is killing people. But before that,
But
all
first,
of these women,
we need to glow up.
oh, we do. Honestly, I mean, I will say I'm partial to about 1/3 of the way through his bathing process.
Uh-huh.
I liked the long hair and a little bit of the beard look on him, but clean. Like he looks a little rough with the head.
Well, I love it. It's like, okay, so, Raiko has like this sort of 6 or 7 women that are just sort of, their job is to sit behind him and just go, yes, my lord.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely, my lord.
Uh-huh.
And we see Gintoki like caked in mud. He's literally wearing like a loincloth and like sandals made of rope, hair everywhere. And they're just laughing at him when he arrives because how disheveled he looks. And as soon as he gets the go ahead, it's like these women like pulling water washes over the screen, and he's a little bit more trimmed out.
Yep.
And water washes over the screen, and he's a little more trimmed up.
Yep.
And then finally we see him completely clean shaven, like in the nice garb, with the hat on the horse, completely transformed,
Yes.
unrecognizably transformed from the basest of poverty to respectable.
It is amazing this full transformation he goes through. And I actually didn't even think about the theme of transformation and especially the way you put it about he goes through a physical transformation and whereas the women go through a spiritual transformation. I mean, it is physical as well, but
Yeah.
it is they are of something else now entirely. Existential
Yeah.
transformation.
And, the first thing Kentucky goes, he's like, cool, now I'm respectable. I'm going to go home. Ooh, I can finally go home and, do the, you know, return home scene. And he runs into somebody who used to know him, doesn't recognize him. He's
Uh-huh.
like, wait, are you? There's no way. He's like, yeah, this is me now. Look, hey, check out all this. I just went by my house and it's a burnt out husk. What the hell happened?
Well, when the war comes, when Kyoto burned, ashes fell upon all of the surrounding villages, and people either died or fled into the mountains. And that's your mom and wife either burned to death or fled, and maybe they'll come back or they won't.
Yeah, like it was like 3 days of chaos.
Uh-huh.
And no, he's like, I don't know.
So yeah, so now he's tasked with getting this killing whatever monster is killing the samurai, and Minamoto is like he is pumping this boy up with all of the stories of his own greatness, like
Yeah.
Gintoki's greatness. Like your legend is spreading, it will become even more legendary when you kill this beast. And hey, you like all these girls?
Hmm.
You can have any woman you want if you kill this monster.
And you can see the like look of almost embarrassment
Yeah.
because I think at this point, does he know he has a wife back home, but he hasn't visited her yet? I don't think he,
No, this is after he already knows
okay,
that his wife and mother are at least missing.
right. But it's that thing of like, oh, is now an appropriate time to mention I'm already married? Best not to say anything.
I love that because you can see on his face that he doesn't want
Yeah.
these women
Yeah.
because he is married. Or and also maybe just even if he wasn't, he may not want these women, but there's a protocol of you don't
No.
say no. It's yes and. It's like an improv
Hmm.
troupe. Improv
Hmm.
troops and samurai, yes and
That's it.
everything.
Exactly
Yeah.
the same.
So he goes riding through the wood at night, and we see him in the same costume, the same look, the
Hmm.
same aura as all of these other samurai that came before. And he comes across Shige, and he has a moment where he can't quite place her, and she turns her face very quickly.
Yeah. Like the scene is so different. Like Shige doesn't speak. Like she doesn't give the normal patter. Oh, I'm just so sad. I'm so
Yeah.
scared. She just like turns away. She won't look at him. She won't let him see her.
No, and the only thing she says to him is just very quietly, just hi, hi,
Hmm.
just agreeing with him when he
Yep.
asks her, do you need an escort home? Do you need some help? Do you hi? And
Hmm.
that's kind of all she can say to him. And so he does give her an escort home and asks if he can rest there for the night. And she looks like, oh God, please don't ask me this.
Hmm.
And they go through these same motions, mother and daughter-in-law do, but you can see it on their face that this is not good news.
Yeah.
And he finally is like, I gotta ask, are your names Yone and Shige by chance? Because you look exactly like my mother and my wife.
Their answer is so interesting. Like they never say no,
Mm-hmm.
but they say whoever your wife and daughter and mother might be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they are anxiously awaiting the return of their son.
Yeah.
It's not a denial, it's just a deflection.
Let me ask you a question. Are these two those women?
I think they are because later, so after they have this scene, it's we see the two of them by themselves, sort of
Yes.
trapped in this ghost house and going through the very real like torment of what the hell are we going to do? I think they've been like enhanced, possessed. Like they describe it as they made a deal with an evil god.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting, like in doing a little bit of research about the black cat, like you were saying, this idea of like, black doesn't necessarily mean bad because the black cat in a lot of Japanese folk tales are like avenge the wrongs that have been done to people that no one witnessed. So, like, if something, again, something terrible happens to these two women in the beginning,
Hmm.
nobody witnesses it. The only witness is the cat.
Yes.
And so the cat doesn't necessarily possess them, but also kind of does.
Yeah, it's funny because I had just before watching this movie last night, I just finished reading this short novel, maybe novella,
Hmm.
called The Har, Haar, by
Okay.
David Sodergren. It is a Scottish novel. It is about the Har is just the fog,
Okay.
but it is kind of a folk fairy tale, folk horror sort of story in a small village. This old woman comes across this like gelatinous sea monster sort of
Oh,
thing in the fog, and just kind of just out of basic kindness, like helps it along and
okay.
saves it because it's a living creature that looks like it's not doing well. And this thing turns out to be this gelatinous sea monster needs to feed on people. It
Oh,
needs to, and in feeding on people, it becomes those people with all of their memories. And so the more people it eats, the more memories, and like it can also shape shift to look just like them. And it doesn't want to harm her because she saved its life, but there's a big section spoiling the middle of the book, the first third of the book, but it becomes like her dead husband
oh, wow.
who died at sea. And so there is a thing where like he behaves in every way like her husband, and he feels things like her husband would feel. And so it's interesting, like this monster recreated the body, the memories,
Hmm.
everything exactly like the husband, including the emotions. So I came at this scene
Oh,
or these
yeah, yeah,
scenes
yeah.
with that in mind, being it
Is
is
this
and it
even
is
them?
not.
Yeah.
And because they, as we will learn in this film, that these two women were, they made a pact with the underworld that they would be given human form in order to kill samurai, all samurai. But I did have this feeling of like they are both them and not them
Yeah.
at the same time. So, yeah, he's wait, hold on, let me get back on my notes here. So, he learns from them in this living room that their story kind of matches what happened to 3 years ago. They moved here, which is when he left. They also had they're being a little cagey about what they knew about that house and
Uh-huh.
who they
Yep.
are. And then finally he just says, "Who are you? Show your true selves, ghosts of Rashomon." And he swings his sword and they are gone.
Love it. They just like zoop. They just float into a corner of the room and then
Hmm.
are gone. Goodbye.
He comes back the next night looking for them, but he just hears the cat meowing. He
Yeah.
can't find them.
He goes to the gate. He goes to his house. He goes to the doorway where, he goes to the path. No ghost.
We see this scene, as you just mentioned, of Yone and Shige talking, and Shige's sobbing, like just understandably so. And Mom is like, maybe just try to watch him secretly from afar. Just
Yeah.
enjoy that he's alive and living. Just resist contacting with
Yeah.
him.
Because we have made a pact to kill all samurai, and our beloved is now a samurai. So
Yeah.
maybe like kill him last,
Yeah.
Like just don't appear to him. And I guess that's the move.
It's the most conservative, least passionate
Yeah.
move you can make. And later later the next night, he sees Shige on the road, and he we watch him like carry her like
Yeah.
bride across the
Mhm.
threshold through across the threshold through the
Yeah.
archway.
And he says, he's like, hey, I was swinging my sword at you the other day. I'm not here to kill you. I just want to see you.
Yeah,
I just want to talk. Like, I just want to see you for just one. I don't know if you're my wife. I don't care anymore. You're a ghost. You're not a ghost. I just want to spend some time with you.
yeah. And they kind of go through that same ritual that night. And mom departs, and when she departs, she says, "Dawn is a long way off. Make yourself comfortable." And then she disappears. And we see Shige and Gintoki kiss and embrace while mom dances in the hallway, just like we've seen before.
Yeah. But she's real sad. The sad dance.
Hmm.
Before it was like a dance of triumph, kind of the same moves. But again, it's like I was fascinated by how the energy or the aura or the look on a dancer's face can completely transmute a dance move.
Yes.
So even though it's exact kind of the same moves, before it was like, and she was all into it. She was invoking the power of the black cat demon
Hmm.
to eat these samurai, and this time she's real slow and sad about it.
Yeah. Did you feel, do you remember in the first time you saw this, did you feel the sense that, oh, they agreed they're going to kill him here? Because we're going through the same motions. And
Yeah.
then her sad dance, the first time I saw it, her sad dance made me think, oh, I wonder if this is going to be a movie about the sadness of this pact that they've made
Yeah.
and the fact that she had to kill her beloved. And
Yeah.
will he come back as a ghost? What's going to happen?
Ooh, I don't think so. Because so even though it's the same set of ritual, like here's the sake, here's the thing, we do the thing, it's the same beats.
Hmm.
What's interesting this time is the naturalness to it,
Hmm.
like the tenderness. It seems so much more heartfelt.
Yeah.
Like he's not grabbing for the sake. He's not grabbing at her. It is, yes, they end up kissing, but it's this love making, this kind of these 7 nights of love,
Hmm.
you know, is very naturalistic. It's like not exactly, I mean, it's sexual. It's sexual. They're kind of, but it's much more tender.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more
The
about laying
kissing.
on the yeah, like more
Yeah.
about laying on the pillow next to each other. It's not about the like act of like I'm gonna have sex with this beautiful woman in a ghost hut. It's more about spending time with each other, being intimate with each other. And you can see on Shige's like face, she's so happy.
Yeah.
She's like she undresses for him. It's much more sensual. We see some boobs, we see some butts.
Hmm.
We see like beautiful backlit fabric. Like they make love kind of in the morning. That it's very much the homecoming
Yeah.
that you would imagine for a loving couple.
Well, we get all of that later, but this first night, we just see kissing.
Oh, that's true.
And it is
Yeah.
more passionate. By the way, side note, one of my top Pornhub searches is kissing in a ghost hut.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we just see them kissing and then mom dancing the sad dance
Yeah.
and then blackness. And then it is just before dawn and they are
Mhm.
cuddled up in
Yeah.
bed. And we
And
get
she's
that
like, "You
moment.
gotta go."
I love that. She says, dawn is a long way off. No, that's what she says the first
Yeah.
time. Dawn is a long way off. Make yourself comfortable. But then when she comes back, she says, it will soon be dawn. Please depart before then.
I know. And he does, no questions asked.
No. And he has one question. He says, I'll come again. Will you wait? And she says, hi.
Oh.
Cut back to Minamoto, just getting
Uh-oh.
massaged by all these women.
This is also something I found really interesting is that he's hairy as well,
Uh-huh.
but it's also fake hair. Like, as somebody who has body hair, I'm like, that's not real.
That's interesting.
I don't know what the significance of that is.
I don't either.
Please write in the comments if you do. But like, it's very much, I don't know, like he's super manly.
I feel like facial and body hair in this movie really represents a kind of a testosterone filled masculinity, like
Yeah,
the
bestial. Yeah.
beastfulness. Yeah, the men at the beginning all have facial
Hmm.
hair and body hair. The bear in
Yeah.
Ezo scene has tons and tons of body hair and facial hair. And
And
even
even
Gintoki with
yeah,
his shaggy head of hair and facial hair.
it's like what you do to survive in the wild, but then you can kind of shed that and
Yes.
be respectable. But Raiko kind of never fully sheds his
No.
his lustiness,
Yeah.
you know, bawdiness is,
Yeah, he sort of understands his animalistic
yeah,
desires, like less in an animalistic ravaging sort of way and more of a hedonistic sort of way.
like he
Like
can channel them and direct them rather than letting them run rampant, but they're still there.
they're still there. He's getting a little irritated with
Yeah.
Gintoki. He's like, "You come back empty-handed every night." And
Hmm.
Gintoki's like, "Well, here's the thing. I saw it." "Oh yeah, well, what was it?" "Well, I can't really say per se. Why didn't you kill it?"
Maybe I'm not the best person for this job. And he's like, you look like shit.
Yeah, he says, "I think the ghost has bewitched you." "Has it?" He's like, that bewitched. That word's doing a lot of work in that
Yeah,
sentence."
yeah. But he does have the like, kind of what we saw in Kwaidan of the like the sunken eyes,
Uh-huh.
of the Huichi the earless. After a few nights communing with the spirits start to rub off on you.
They do. They take something from you. But it he's back at Shige's again, and so this was the line. So this is when we see like the much more passionate sex. Like
Yeah,
this movie, this middle act, this like end of the kind of like second of three
yeah.
acts. This is so sexy.
Oh my
It's
God.
so fucking hot. It's
Yeah.
so amazing. And it's just the way that they speak quietly in each other's
Hmm.
ears. It's the way that they embrace. It's like the silkenness of all of
Yeah.
their clothing and sheets. But he says to her as they're embracing, he says, "Your breasts and your legs are just like Shige. You are just like Shige. You are Shige." And it's like he's convincing himself and her
Yeah.
that she is fully that thing, which really got my mind spinning
Yeah,
back on
yeah,
the
like
question
maybe
of,
she's like a homunculus kind of.
yeah,
She's a creation made to look like, but is
hmm
not the thing. And I love how he's like, I want to consume you. And she's like, yes, eat me up, daddy.
she says, "You guys, everyone out there, if you have a sexual partner, I think you need to say one, that line is a great one.
Hmm.
I want to consume you. The other one is she says to him, 'Hold me so tight it hurts.'" I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh, damn.
wow.
Good Lord, you two, get a room."
Yeah, they have a room, but it's also kind of not a room. It's
No,
kind of a
it's,
room of the mind,
yeah, yeah.
you know? It's also very 60s, that sort of like hippie, natural nudist love,
hmm
like
hmm
very, very late 60s.
It really is. But one night, Kentucky comes back to the house and Shige is not there, just Yone. And this is where he learns, listen, she was given 7 days to see you, and it's been 7 days.
Yeah.
And he's like, "But so she's gone. It's done." And he's like,
Yeah.
"But you're not even like living human beings. How can she be dead? Like, what kind of ghosts are
Yeah.
you?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And she says, "I'm bound by a vow to the god of evil not to tell you who we are." She kind of does the thing, "I can't tell you. Here, let me tell you a little bit." And I can't
Uh-huh.
tell you. Let me tell you a little bit more.
You're like, it's got something to do with samurai. It's
Hmm
got something to do with bad samurai, but I can't tell you anymore.
Right?
And Shige said, if you give me 7 nights, I'll take those 7 nights and then I will be cast into the pits of hell.
Yeah.
And she did it with a smile for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And she is, yeah, she's, she said instead of drinking the blood of hateful samurai, she chose to love you and be banished to hell.
Damn.
But she gives him plenty of information to deduce
Yeah.
that samurai killed them,
Mm-hmm.
and they have made a pact with the underworld to kill all samurai. But pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
And he tells this to Minamoto. He tells him, he doesn't say who these particular women are to him, but he
Yeah.
does tell them they were murdered by samurai, and the hate for the samurai has caused these spirits to want to kill them all. And he's like, how
Who
could
would
anyone hate us?
Who would hate samurai? All we're doing is fighting war after war after war for the benefit of all.
And
And
just
if
plucking
and
men
if
from farms away from their families.
and if people starve to death, they're weak and they deserved it. They didn't deserve to live anyway. Who would hate us for that?
He even says, look, you were just some dumb farmer's son, and now you're a hero samurai. That's how it works. How could they hate us?
Right?
And he tells him, he says, I order you to destroy it. He says, well, I already killed one of them's gone.
Mm-hmm. One of them's gone.
Show me
Never
proof.
come back.
Oh, I can't. It's gone forever. Well, destroy the other and bring proof. If you don't, I will kill you.
Yeah.
You will be executed. But Yone is gone, and now she is fully in Rashomon Village. And
Yeah.
she's just off murdering and killing anyone.
Yeah.
Like, she's not even luring these men anymore.
I love this. This sequence is so delicious to me because, Gentaki is like, kind of don't know what to do.
Uh-huh.
And Yone, she doesn't even pretend anymore. Like, there's a dead body, there's villagers around it, and she's just walking right by it. There's another body, and she's like off in the distance, just like, did I do that? Bye-bye.
Oh, it's so good.
And I took it to mean like she's coming back with a vengeance, like almost like, this has to end somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to eat as many samurai as I can while I'm still here.
Yeah, I think she is. Yeah, it doesn't really give us a glimpse into her whole rationale, but you can sort of presume that this is either her way of being like, well, I got to make up for all the people we haven't been killing because my daughter-in-law couldn't do it because of my son. And then eventually getting tired of that and saying, I will choose to end it all here. But I also think she's a bit of a trickster too, right? Because I think that's a lie that she tells him, that it's like, I'm ready to rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he confronts her and he's like, why are you out here drinking blood every night? Why can't you just go chill someplace?
Yeah.
She said, well, I just wanted to see you one more time, son. He's like, honestly, I have to tell you, Mom, I have to kill you or I will die. And she goes, well, you know what? I was planning on following your wife to hell anyway.
That's right. And so let's go back to the house. I've picked out a whole sutra. You're going to read it. You give me a good, I'll dive headfirst into the pits of hell, listening to the words of the Buddha. It's going to suck, but you're going to make it pleasant so, just come on home. But that darn puddle reflects his mother for just a moment, and she's got spooky ghost makeup on.
She sure does. She's been watching some YouTube tutorials, some very haunted ones. And I love this because he does the classic stall technique of, my shoe's untied.
Yeah, I know, right?
But when she nears him being like, is everything okay? He just swings his sword up and slices her arm off. And she flees. And that human arm laying in the grass, just turns into a cat's arm.
Kind of more of like a monkey's arm.
It looks like monkey's paw. It's huge.
Because it's a human arm covered in black hair.
Yes.
But it's got big long nails.
Yep.
Like a cat.
And he brings it back to Minamoto. and is like, here it is. He's like, wow, you killed a demon cat the size of a lion, basically
Wow.
the size of a person. And he's like, good job. Time to do the purification ritual.
Yeah. And this is where we get the whole like, like a story is one thing, but if you want to be a legend, we gotta like make a big deal out of this. We
Mhm.
gotta let everybody know about it. You've got to go, you're gonna put you in a room for a couple of days. Like let the mystery build
Yes.
around you.
And part of that is hide him away.
Hmm.
Keep you away from all the reporters and things
Yeah.
like that. And
Who's
just,
that? Who's that in the temple? Oh, I can't tell you, but here's the whole fucking thing.
yeah, he had to go through a purification ritual for 7 days because he killed such a big demon
Hmm.
that he's got to be cleansed. And so he gets locked in this temple, and there is a sword on the wall that is like in
Hmm.
front of the door. So it's barring, it's kind of it's a protector.
Yeah.
There's also the cat's paw is in that room
Yeah.
too. And
He's just in meditation for, was it how
seven
many,
days,
7 days?
7 days, 7 nights.
And I love this as like it's the last night and he's starting to get a little cagey.
Mm-hmm.
He's starting to hear voices.
Yep. He's talking to he hears a meowing outside and scratching, and he starts being like, "Are you a cat? Are you my mother?" And he hears the moan of a voice saying, "You have to give me my arm back. You have to
This is
just
so,
move the sword. The sword is, I am your mother, you know? Just move
yeah.
the sword, kiddo, and I can come in and get my arm back. And son, it's my weapon. I have to kill and drink the blood of
And if I
samurai."
can't do that without my claw, who's got my golden kitty arm?
And he's just like, okay, so mom, your plan is to just wander the earth as a vengeful ghost. And she's like, yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, I fucking hate samurai.
that's my whole deal now.
It's like when your mom gets too into astrology or some shit. Yeah,
Hmm.
you're like,
Or
listen,
yeah,
I love it,
crafting.
but
Like, oh no.
can't be every conversation.
Yes, it can't be a personality. A hobby can't be a personality.
So he shuns that voice, but
He's
then
like, no.
another voice comes back, and it is the same voice.
It's
It's
the
this.
same. But again, I love this idea of rather than having a different actor play,
Hmm.
it's the same actor using the skills of acting to transform.
Yes.
And this one sounds very official. And he's like, leave me alone. I got to just make it till dawn. He's like, I know who you are. I came from the Emperor.
Yeah.
I'm the Emperor's, like, I'm
He's
his
the
spiritual
seer.
guy. Yeah. Like, my whole thing is I'm going to come in, I'm going to, like, do some magic, I'm going to do some divination over this thing, and then I'll be out of your hair. 10 minutes
Hmm.
tops.
It's like when
I
the
know who.
exterminator comes to your apartment.
Uh-huh.
You're like,
Yeah.
no, management says 3 o'clock on Wednesdays. You're like,
I
um,
got it. Don't worry. It'll be quick. And
yeah.
he's like, just unlock the door.
And
Jesus.
this,
I love how he's like, this is such an annoyance.
yes, boy, he falls for this hook, line, and
Oh,
sinker.
yes, he does.
Well, and part of it is the lie that she tells, right? Like, is that, listen, if you disobeying the emperor is
I
punishable
know.
by death,
They're gonna
right? And
kill
it'll be
your boss.
you
They're kill your and your boss.
and your Bob. You and Minamoto are both fucked if you say no. So
And
he's like,
it's also the fact
fine.
that like she knows the names, like she has information that you're like, oh, well, a ghost wouldn't know that.
Hmm.
Sounds official to me.
And he opens the door, and it is Yone in priest drag.
Mm-hmm.
She has, it's interesting because she's got marks like freckles all over her face, but it also evokes when her arm is cut off, there's a blood splatter. And so
Oh,
to me, it evokes
yes.
like stains from her own
Oh,
blood hitting her
yeah.
face.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love this whole routine where she's like tweaking and
Oh,
staring at
yeah.
that, like she is tweaking and staring at
Yeah.
this arm, being
She's
like,
like, hey, so
hey,
that's the arm, is it? Huh?
mhm,
Huh?
can I
Um,
can you show it to me like up close?
but like I can't like grab it because I'm a different kind of like my whole divination is more like yin yang mysteries of the universe divination, and this is more like demon stuff. But if you could just bring that to me where I could get a little better look at it, that would be great.
It's a very, my grandmother, what big eyes you have. Oh,
I know. Yeah. Uh-huh.
better to
It's
see you
so
with.
fascinating to me, like how stories repeat themselves, like the
Hmm.
sort of the Joseph Campbellness of it all. How many threads, not whole cloth, but threads of mythology throughout the world have these echoes of each other.
Yeah. And he very ritualistically picks up the little platform it's on and sets it in front of her. And she's like, this is where she gets the whole, or he, the priest, the fake
Yeah.
priest, played by the same actress. Uh, it's like, oh, you have to hand it to me because
It's
your
like,
God is different than my God.
I know.
And can I hold it? And he's like, sure. And he hands it to her. And then just at that moment, as she, I guess we'll
Yeah.
keep using that pronoun, and she takes it, he looks down and sees she didn't have a left arm. And he draws his sword and she puts the arm in her mouth like a cat
Love it.
carrying a
Like a
bird
cat carrying a mouse.
or
Yeah.
mouse. Yeah.
And she keeps it there for the rest of this last scene.
I fucking loved that choice so much. It's so good. It's another form of mask work too,
Yeah.
because it
Because you
covers the lower
expect,
half of her face.
oh yeah. And her hair is now like, honestly, it does. It is kind of giving Andrew Lloyd Webber cats. Like she's got the like the kind of like tuft, like her
Uh
hair is done up into a little tuft, like a Grisabella kind of
huh.
moment.
Uh huh.
But I like you're like, oh my gosh, she's gonna like magically attach her arm. But no, she just takes that thing in her mouth. And it also makes this final battle scene less about mother and son and more about like it makes her more she can't talk anymore because she's got her own arm in her mouth.
Uh-huh.
So it's more of a battle rather than a negotiation.
Yeah. And there's a look on her face that suggests that like she knows she's not in any physical danger. She knows she can elude the samurai
Yeah.
sword all day and all night.
Yeah.
It's only her that can choose really to die.
But
And
she can't hurt him. She can only evade him.
yes. Yeah, she can't she can't break it sort of implies maybe she'll keep killing samurai and he'll be the last one left.
Uh-huh. Because listen, they kind of chase each other around the room. He's got his sword out, his sort of, like the sort of the power of the magical samurai sword in full effect. And she's like, you know what? Up and away.
Mm-hmm.
And she jumps through the roof. And I love this last shot. It's of her far up in a dark space. And she has like just her one hand up and almost as if she's waving goodbye.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
she just disappears out of sight.
Yep. I really love this final battle sequence because if we go for me in my mind going with the thought that she is just going to keep doing this like she said, I'm
Yeah.
just going to
Oh,
wander the earth and
absolutely.
kill samurai because that's what I agreed to do when I was
Hmm.
enlisted, just like he was enlisted
Yep.
into a service of war, conscripted,
Hmm.
and the same as him. War causes all of us to lose something.
Yeah.
War causes all of us to fight, and that's great. And I know you didn't have a choice in it, but I didn't really either. And
Yeah.
so this is where we're at. And sadly, that's just fate. Maybe it's not any of our faults, but we're all fighting a war somewhere. And I
Yeah. Like
love that. Yeah,
we landed on opposite sides of that war.
yeah. And he wanders the forest in the stupor. I feel so bad for him. Like he got 98% through. He got he thought he had that wordle and that sixth guess just nope.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and he's wandering the forest just swinging his sword at nothing. He goes to the
Yeah.
house swinging at nothing. He is screaming mother over and over again, and he ultimately just passes out and he wakes, well, he doesn't wake up.
Yeah.
We see
Like
him.
he
Yeah.
passes out in his old home, and then like a couple of flakes of snowfall, and then he's just covered in a blanket of snow,
He-
which is a very sad ending, but it does have this like because he like similar to again in Qui-Gon, like kind of the first story of like he goes mad and dies.
yeah.
But the snow has this kind of purification feel to it.
Hmm.
So it's like not a bad death, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a violent death, it's a peaceful death.
It is more your classic death of
Yeah.
your life ends and your
Mhm.
soul is purified and
Yes, you're
released
right.
into
He's
the
at
world.
peace now.
Yeah, at peace now. Whereas sadly, mother and wife and
Yeah.
daughter-in-law will never be at peace
Hmm.
because of the way that they died, that they weren't allowed to be purified. And in the white falling snow and his body laying in these charred remains, here comes the black cat.
Meow.
Meow. The end. Cecil, shall we rate this film?
Yes, let's.
All right, let's start with just horror movie approachability. Like, if you're squeamish about watching scary movies, how approachable is Kuroneko? I'll give it a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being like not at all approachable, like too much. 10 being like easily approachable, anyone could watch this movie. I'm gonna give like Kuroneko like 9 out of 10 fluffy cloud eyebrows. I, when we mention the jump scares, they're not
No.
clattering and noisy. There's nothing
No.
clamorous about them. It doesn't ever make you jump. It's more just it's more like a romantic tragic love story more than anything with ghosts. Um and it's yeah, that's kind of just where it is. I would say that like obviously the content warnings are there is some like black and white blood and violence, like an arm gets cut off, but it's nothing, it's
Yeah.
stagey.
Yeah.
Really, it's the opening sequence with the sexual assault is super, super upsetting. Not in a horror movie way, but in a just let's be real about what men are
Hmm.
capable of sort of
Hmm.
way. So, but as far as horror movie approachability, 9 out of 10, fluffy cloud like eyebrows. To speak nothing of approachability, Cecil, how do you rate this as a horror film?
I mean, it's delicious. Like,
Hmm.
this is when I was literally watching this movie thinking, I don't want to see this movie in color.
No,
Like, it is so beautiful in black and white. I couldn't imagine it any other way. Is it scary? Not so much.
no.
That's okay. And I think this is a good one for the squeamish. Um, I think I like Onibaba maybe a little more just because it's got like it's a little less folk tale,
Uh
and
huh.
folk tales are fun, but they're kind of simple. So this one has a simplicity to it that is, maybe not as like deep as some of other Japanese films of the time period, but it's flippin' gorgeous. So for that reason, I would give it 8 out of 10 monkey paws.
Perfect. Well, let's figure out what movie we are going to watch next. You've got a scare die. I have a style die. We will roll those up and see what movie matches those two things. So, Cecil, on your scare die, if you roll a 1, our next movie's got to be Scare of End of the World. If you roll a 2, Bad Mom, Bad Dad. 3, Technology is the scare. 4, Wild Card, whatever scare we want. 5, Magic with a K. Or 6, Alien is the scare.
That's a 6.
Alien. All right. Okay, so we're going to match up your Alien with whatever I roll on the style die. If I roll a 1, it's got to be a black and white film. I want to mention this hit 26 weeks on the die, black and white. It's been
Wow.
sitting there for half a year now.
Oh my God.
So if I roll a 1, it's black and white. If I roll a 2, it's got to be the style of On Vacation, something about people traveling, road trip, something. 3, we brought back animated or musical. 4, very specific. It has to be a movie from 1991, the one modern year we haven't covered yet for this show. 5, horror homework, something that is essential horror movie viewing. Or 6, it's got to be based on a book. All right, let me get my little dice bowl here and shake it up. 6, based on a book.
Ooh.
Alien. I know there's more out there than the ones that we put on this list. So I'm excited to see what people on Letterboxd have to say. By the way, we are at Random Horror 9 on Letterboxd, and you can go look at our lists there, and we put up lists of all of the possible die rolls, and you can leave comments for movies we may have missed. It really helps us out a lot. All right, so let me tell you, Cecil, what we put on this list. Here's one that you brought up to me recently called Life Force.
Jeffrey.
I don't know. I mean, is this is Ken Russell, right?
No,
No.
I don't think it's Toby Hooper.
Oh, it's Toby Hooper. Yeah.
Toby
Okay.
Hooper. Space vampires. Space vampires. I was shocked that this is based on a book, but it is indeed.
It is based on a book called The Space Vampires
Yep.
by Colin Wilson.
The name is it's what it says on the tin.
That's fucking delightful.
But
Okay,
it's so 80s outrageous that I love it.
we also have I think from 2019, the Nick Cage movie Color Out of Space, based off
I've not seen this.
I haven't either. This one comes up a lot on our Patreon when we're asking what movie we should watch for our next live stream, things like that. Yeah, it looks great. It's got good reviews. Lots of people seem to really love it. It's H.P. Lovecraft. It's Nick Cage.
Yeah.
It looks very pink from all of them.
Yeah, very color saturated.
We also have another film on this list that is an older movie from the 90s, maybe? Fire in the Sky?
Yeah, so this movie kind of is like tops the list on like alien abduction films. And I found out it is indeed based on a book, I think based on more actual testimonials.
Yeah.
Or an actual testimonial of alien abduction. But this is kind of in the world of alien abduction. This has apparently one of the scariest alien sequences ever.
Okay. Yeah. That shit used to scare the shit out of me whenever I would see the book Communion at the bookstore at Walden Books or B. Dalton. It was like kind of a bronzy colored, like a dull bronze colored book, but just the front center big image was just that classic, like pointy chin alien head with the big black eyes. And I had to cover my eyes every time I walked past it. I was do not want. Okay, so finally we put here's a classic not classic, but War of the Worlds, which is classic.
Oh my gosh. H.G. Wells. I went through a website that like ranked every single remake of War of the Worlds. And a lot of them, a lot of made for TV stuff, a lot of them that are more faithful, less faithful. This one's kind of cheesy. There was like a Russian commune, a USSR version. But I landed on the 2005 Steven Spielberg. Action. Big action film.
Yeah. Well, let's see. That's all we initially came up with. Let's see what the folks on Letterboxd had to say in the comments.
Cronenberg TA recommends Body Snatchers from 1993, the third remake adaptation of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, this time set on a military base in Alabama, directed by Abel Ferreira, who directed The Addiction. Okay. Yeah, we've seen the other two, so that for the show. Alluvian recommends Parasite with a Y, The Maxim. High schooler Shinichi Izumi wakes up one morning to find out that his right hand was taken over by an alien life form after a failed attempt for it to take over his brain. The two learn to adapt to this forced partnership and form a symbiotic relationship as they encounter other humans fully infected by the parasitic aliens. Based on the manga by the same name, expect lots of body horror, blood, and gore.
Great. I'm guessing this is probably anime. I think there's a live action version of this movie.
I've seen a few episodes of the live action one, but I think because they say it's available on Crunchyroll and Hulu, so I'm guessing this is the anime version.
Okay.
Which I hear is like quite fun, delicious.
Okay.
Gloopy globby.
Interesting.
Watch Radio recommends The Mist, 2007. I can't believe we forgot about this one. Aliens from another dimension instead of another planet, based on the Stephen King short story. And absolutely Watch Radio, one of the hardest movie endings of all time.
Okay, okay.
Have you seen The Mist?
I've never seen I remember that short story. I love that short story or novella,
That
really.
the ending hits like a ton of bricks.
Okay.
Thursday recommends From Beyond, very loosely based on the Lovecraft story. Cast and crew is the Reanimator. Jeffrey Combs, looking the cutest anyone has ever looked in a little sweater, discovers a way to bring extra dimensional aliens to this realm by way of a machine that makes you horny.
This
Love it.
Thursday is so
Stupid
right
amounts of
that this
fun.
movie is stupid amounts of fun.
And do you want to hear something? I've never seen this movie
Oh my gosh, I saw it for the
because
first time earlier this year at Nighthawk, and we had a blast. So much
I've
fun.
I think it was like one when it was on USA Up All Night. It was so cut to ribbons because of the machine that makes you very horny that I was like, what am I even watching? Book of a Hug of a
Yes.
recommends Communion from
Okay.
1989.
Again, that
Also
novel.
works well here if you're in the mood for a more grounded alien experience. Maybe now is the time for you to face your fears, Jeffrey.
That's true. That is true.
I also didn't, I've never heard of this. I don't really know what the book or the film is.
I don't either. I just remember the cover of that book
Just be
disturbing me as a
haunting.
child. Oh,
And
they also Dreamcatcher.
they recommend Dreamcatcher 2003 if you're in the mood for a Stephen King.
Hmm.
I vaguely remember Dreamcatcher seeing that one. I couldn't really tell you what it's about.
Hmm.
I think it had a lot of like Hollywood hot dudes before they were famous kind of thing. Bo Norton recommends Under the Skin from 2013,
I
based
forgot
on a
this was based off
novel.
a novel.
I had no idea. By Michael Faber, an alien played by Scarlett Johansson, seduces and preys on men in Scotland. And I gotta say, this soundtrack is a lot. I love it. I know this may be not your favorite movie, but
I'd
maybe
like to
now's the time to.
rewatch it. I don't think
Yeah,
I was as blown away by it when I saw it way back when, 10 years ago or whatever, but
sure.
I'd love to rewatch it. I should add, King and Commoner throws out Parasite Part 1, which is different than Parasite the Maxim. I just looked it up.
Oh,
So Parasite the Maxim is a show. So I
that's
think I
what I
want to rule
thought.
it out for this one. I want to try and stick mostly
Okay.
to movies. But Parasite Part 1 is definitely a live action
Okay.
film, and King and Commoner says looks like it's currently rentable right now on Just
Nice.
Watch.
Nice. Slight hiccup brings in Mars Attacks, saying it is based on trading cards, saying that's also a film that could stand a bit of reappraisal, which is amazing. I love Mars Attacks so much.
I love the concept that because we say based on a book, but I feel like giving that to based on a video game, based on manga,
Sure.
based on
Yeah.
trading cards. Yeah.
Based on a previous source, I would
Yeah.
say. Weaponized Toaster, absolutely. This is a great wreck. Starship Troopers, based on the 1959 novel that stars everyone you'd expect a late 90s sci-fi action film to star. And I love this movie because it is so deep satire that the people who love it don't always know it's satire.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This is like an American Psycho sort of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And they also have a great recommendation, The Andromeda Strain. I've never read this or seen it. Chilling tale about a U.S. research satellite carrying a deadly extraterrestrial microscopic organism that crashes into a small town in Arizona. A group of top scientists are hurriedly assembled in a bid to identify and contain the lethal stowaway, based on the novel by Michael Crichton. I know this was a big pandemic, Michael Crichton being like, this is how we would handle something like this
Uh-huh.
if it were to really happen. OK Panic recommends The Watcher in the Woods from 1980, based on the novel by the same name. A family moves to the English countryside only to experience what they believe is a haunting, but surprise, it's aliens. And that's it. Oh, no, wait. No, one more. Sorry, we got one more good one. And it's another Michael Crichton. Ace Diamond recommends Sphere from 1998. A spacecraft is found on the ocean floor. A team is assembled to go down and explore it. And inside, they find a strange sphere that appears to contain an alien intelligence with questionable intentions.
Always question all alien life form intentions. Just,
Absolutely.
yeah, we always should. We've got some really, say this every time, but most
There's some
every
good
time.
ones.
We've got some really good ones in here. We've got
Yeah.
a lot to choose from or roll from, depending on
I
what we
also
want to
I
do.
like based on a book because it often gives a like tried and true nature to the movie picks.
Uh-huh.
Like they have a template to go from, so it's not so cuckoo bananas as it could
Yeah.
be.
Uh-huh.
I think the question is, do we want, oh man,
Like, what type of movie do we
right.
want? Um, we okay, so there's a couple of things here. So we've got okay, so we've got I wrote down a few that
Hmm.
stuck out to me, and you can tell me if you can think of others. So Under the Skin, it'd be a movie I'd really love to revisit. It's a
Sure.
smart, art housey literary horror. Makes sense that it is based off of a novel.
Yeah.
It's really interestingly filmed, the way in which they
Bleak.
used, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
bleak. Uh,
Nihilist.
yeah. So there's that coming off of Kuroneko. There's kind of a similar art house darkness
Hmm.
to it. We've also got Fire in the Sky or Communion, if we wanted more of the classic alien abduction narrative, kind of like an Amityville horror, like based
Yeah,
on
yeah,
of
yeah.
a true story or an account of a true story.
I love, which because that was not really my thing in the horror canon,
Hmm.
but that's why this podcast is great because I like watching shit that was I wouldn't necessarily pick first.
Yeah. And having, being kind of known as having one of the scariest
Hmm.
alien abduction-y scenes.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible. If we wanted to do something that is going to be fun and silly, we have both Life Force and Mars
Hmm.
Attacks. And we can
I
throw in
think
From Beyond as
I
well.
think I would do. Oh man, I think I would do From Beyond over Mars
Yeah,
Attacks, just because Mars Attacks is just truly a comedy
it really
rather than
is.
the horror is less. But even From Beyond is interdimensional alien rather than like outer space
Yeah.
alien,
Yep.
which is I listen. It's the same reason like the Mist didn't occur to me because yeah, those are big alien creatures, but it's not from outer space, you
Yeah.
know.
We also have Parasite Part 1 if we wanted to go manga based.
Sure.
Maybe that kind of fits a little bit more. That looks kind of um, the way it's filmed. It's really interesting. I know I've watched clips from it before. It has a very interesting look to it because it is almost
Okay.
like so CGI'd, but to the
Oh,
point of looking like animated people. Like it's
oh,
kind of
weird.
like it reminded me of the Black
Just
Hole
like,
Sun video from the 90s.
oh,
Like
gotcha.
I don't know, it
Okay.
just kind of has that vibe
Yeah.
to it.
I would
Um,
also throw Starship Troopers on
I was
there
gonna
as
say
well.
Starship Troopers is a big one. I wouldn't put it. It's kind of like RoboCop. I mean, same
Yeah.
director,
Yeah.
same kind of satire.
It's high action with horrific elements, like with a lot of exploding bugs.
It is, yeah, it's a monster movie, I
Yeah.
guess in that way. And then I think one of the more popular ones that a lot of people, even on our letterbox, were seconding was Color Out of Space.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Um,
Oh my God. But then also like the Andromeda Strain.
oh, Andromeda Strain and Sphere
Yeah.
are both like Michael Crichton books that made into very like 90s, early aughts sort of
Hmm. Hmm.
star power films. Like Dustin
So
Hoffman, no, he was in Contagion, but it feels
yes.
like Dustin
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hoffman
yeah.
and Samuel L. Jackson, like all
Yeah.
of the big names from that era, would have been in those movies.
So do you think we should roll for it? I think because like my instinct would be if I had I could narrow it down to two, and it would be Fire in the Sky or Life Force. Those would be my two. Like a kind of a campy one and a serious one.
I like those two above all of the others. The only other one that comes really close, but it's more out of just wanting people to be excited about a film that a lot of people
Sure.
suggest is Color Out of Space.
Yeah.
But I'm most excited for Life Force and Fire in the Sky or Communion, either one. But I think Fire
Uh,
in the Skies probably sounds more horror-y.
yeah. So I would say let's flip a coin between those two.
Let's flip a coin. You got a coin? I don't have one in front of me. You
I
wanna?
do.
Oh, great.
I've got my Secret Service challenge coin right here.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so it's got a star on one side. Let's do star would be Life Force,
Great.
and the eagle would be Fire in the Sky.
Okay.
That's the eagle.
We're going to do Fire in the Sky.
I'm excited for this.
I
This
am
is like,
too.
especially it's a 90s horror movie that I think had a kind of cult status that not a lot of people saw. And
Hmm.
I'm really interested in seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, yeah, same here. Same here. And it looks like it is available for streaming over on Prime and for rental elsewhere. So we'll go with that. That's fun. That's kind of came out of I know we put it on our list, but it sort of came out of left field.
Yeah.
As we were talking about it. So let's do that. Wow. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Cecil, for talking with me. If you have thoughts on Kuroneko or ideas for other movies that would have been good, Alien, based on a book, horror films, let us know at Random Horror 9 on Blue Sky, Instagram, or on Patreon, where we have public discussion threads for each episode, and you don't have to be a paying member to participate. So watch Fire in the Sky 1993 with us this week, and come on back next Tuesday for a new episode. Have a restful night with no ghost ladies back flipping over your horse or nothing. Boo.
Boo.
Meow.